Hello, I am Julie Hernandez. I am the defendant in this case. I am representing AU Bright Smile Dental in our assigned case number 4. Joshua Riddle is suing AU Bright Dental for what he feels is a violation of his privacy. Under the Health Insurance Probability and Accountability Act, otherwise known as HIPAA, Joshua Riddle feels that by having the staff at AU Bright Smiles Dental office placing a red sticker on his chart with the word AIDS is releasing his private information. HIPAA is a federal Health Insurance Probability and Accountability Act of 1996. The primary goal of the law is to make it easier for people to keep health insurance, protect the confidentiality and security of health information, and help the health industry control administrative cost. The AMA Code offers these specific guidelines on HIPAA guidelines regarding HIV and AIDS. Exceptions to the confidentiality are appropriate when necessary to protect public health or when necessary to protect individuals, including healthcare workers, who may be encountered by persons infected with HIV or AIDS. 1. If a physician knows that a seropositive individual is engaging a third party, the physician should, within constraints of the law, attempt to persuade the infected patient to cause endangering a third party. 2. If persuasion fails, notify the authorities. And 3. If the authorities take no action, notify the endangered party. So in this case, I feel our physician directed our staff appropriately by directing them to place a red sticker identifying to the staff of extra precautions to take while working with Mr. Riddle to protect themselves. Just to assure you that Mr. Riddle's name is not identified, we have no patient identifying information on the outside of the chart, as we use number charts in our office to identify both the patient and the chart. So rest assured, the patient's name is nowhere on the outside of the chart to identify his identity. I am sure you're all familiar with the Ebola cases a few years back. This information was released to the public for safety and security reasons. When the release of information broke, name, ages, illnesses were given for the protection of both the healthcare workers and the public. Here is just another example of protecting the medical staff and the public where HIPAA Act 148 went into effect. In this obligation of safeguard patient confidentiality and is subject to certain exceptions, which are ethically and legally justified because of overriding social considerations. This is what the AMA Code of Ethics states. Most justifiable exceptions to the patient confidentiality involves a situation where there is a real sizable threat to the public, opposed to an imagination of a minute threat. There are state laws as far as releasing information related to not only HIV and AIDS, but to other diseases such as STDs and even violent hate crimes. These must be reported to the state by the physician's office, and if not done so, the physician's office can be fined for not following their obligation on reporting these diseases and/or hate crimes, which are needed for tracking purposes. And in the reporting of these cases, name, age, gender, and home addresses have to be given in most states. Mr. Riddle stated that he did not mind that the AIDS sticker was on the inside of the chart for the staff to know. As I mentioned earlier, that none of his identifying information was visible on the outside of the chart. With this, I feel allegations by Joshua Riddle of releasing his private information to the public are not valid.